The angels are standing close to you in this moment, dear soul, because they know your heart is heavy with questions. You have felt a shift, a strange change in energy, and it has left you wondering what really happened in the stillness of dawn. You sensed it without anyone telling you. Something stirred before the sun rose, before the birds sang, and your spirit caught it like a whisper in the air. You have been asking yourself again and again, did my soulmate really have a secret meeting early in the morning? And if they did, what truly happened that changed everything? The angels want you to know that your feeling was not wrong. Something did happen in those quiet hours. But the truth is more layered than your fears imagine. What unfolded was not born from malice or a desire to hurt you. It came from inner conflict, from fear, from the struggle your person has been carrying for longer than they can admit. They have been moving carefully, almost too carefully, building walls of control, hiding behind structure and routine, convincing themselves that slow movement is safer than truth. But love does not wait for perfect timing. Love asks for honesty. Love asks for presence. And your person has been caught between two worlds, the one they are building on the outside, brick by brick, and the one that lives inside them, where your presence hums like an ache that never fades. Yes, something happened that morning. There was a meeting, a conversation, a moment where they sat across from someone connected to their current path, or perhaps from a past chapter that was never fully closed. But this was not a meeting of love. It was not passion, nor the kind of intimacy that replaces you. It was a meeting born from duty, from obligation, from fear of what would happen if they didn't show up. They went into that space not because their heart led them there, but because of expectation and responsibility. The angels watched as your person tried to explain themselves. They tried to talk about the future, about responsibilities, about choices that look good on paper, but feel empty in the soul. They tried to sit there as if they belonged in that space, but inside, they felt you. They felt your absence like a wound that wouldn't close. They saw your face in their mind when they closed their eyes. They heard your voice in the silence between sentences. And in those moments, it became clear to them. They no longer feel at home in the life they are pretending to live. That dawn was not about betrayal. It was about truth pressing against the walls they've built. They realized that even in the presence of another person, you are the one who fills their thoughts. Even when they try to ground themselves in stability, their heart rebels, whispering your name. They did not leave that meeting feeling powerful or satisfied. They left with heaviness in their chest, because the life they are clinging to is no longer enough. The angels want you to see this clearly. That early morning did not break your bond. It revealed it. Your person could not silence the echo of your love. And while they may return to routine, while they may speak as if nothing happened, while they may even grow distant because of fear, the seed has already been planted. Something awakened within them in those still hours, and they cannot unknow it. You have felt the shift because their soul has been crying out, and you, in your sensitivity, have received it. You are not imagining things. You are not crazy. You felt the weight of their confusion, the sadness of their realization, and the energy of their silence. The angels are saying that what happened that morning was not about passion with another person. It was about the breaking of illusions. It was about a mask cracking. It was about your person recognizing, perhaps for the first time in a long time, that they are divided between a safe but lifeless path and the love that actually brings them alive, they may not yet act on it. They may not yet have the courage to choose fully, but the journey back to you has already begun inside them. That meeting showed them what emptiness feels like. It showed them the difference between settling and loving, between duty and destiny. And once a soul sees truth, it cannot stay blind forever. The angels also want you to know something else. Your soulmate did not meet out of joy. They were not seeking adventure. They were pulled by old patterns, by fears, by ties they haven't broken. It was not about wanting someone else. It was about avoiding themselves. It was about clinging to the familiar, even when it doesn't nourish them. The angels say that in that moment, they weren't proud. They weren't fulfilled. They were trapped. They laughed. They talked. Maybe they even tried to show warmth, but inside they were numb, because nothing in that space could compare to what they feel when they are with you. That is why they left heavier than they arrived. They didn't leave with joy. They left with the realization that nothing else fills the space you hold in their soul. They left with guilt, with shame, with the haunting awareness that no matter how far they run, your presence follows them. They left realizing that they could no longer pretend. And you, dear one, felt it all. You felt the unease in your spirit. You felt the strange weight in your chest. You felt the dreams that carried images you couldn't explain. This is because the bond between you is strong. And even when they try to hide, their soul still speaks to yours. The angels want you to understand this deeply. You were never the problem. Their choices were not a reflection of your worth. Their confusion was not because your love was lacking. It was because they are still wrestling with shadows, with fear, with the temptation to hold onto a life that looks stable, but is hollow. And though they may stumble, though they may falter, your light has not dimmed in their soul. In fact, that morning only made it brighter by contrast. This was a turning point, not because it was beautiful, but because it was unbearable. They saw the cost of living divided. They saw the emptiness of trying to move on from you. They saw that pretending brings them no peace. And now, whether they admit it or not, their heart is reawakening. Every sunrise since then has carried your memory with more strength. Every quiet moment since has reminded them of the love they cannot replace. The angels are holding you with love right now because they know this truth is heavy. It is not easy to hear that your soulmate did meet with someone else, even if it wasn't for love. It hurts because it feels like betrayal. But the angels want you to know this was not about losing you. It was about finding themselves. It was about waking up to the truth that you are not just someone they cared for once. You are the one their soul belongs to. So breathe, dear soul. Do not let this revelation make you doubt yourself. What happened at dawn was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of their awakening. And though the road may still be long, though free will may still delay, the truth cannot be erased. You are the one they cannot forget. You are the one they see when their eyes close. You are the one whose love echoes louder than all the noise. The angels remind you that this is not a time to shrink. It is a time to stand in your worth, to remember that your love is sacred and that it is not easily replaced. Your soulmate may still wrestle with fear, but their soul already knows the truth. The meeting at dawn only made that truth clearer. And now, even in their silence, they are walking toward you, step by slow step, because love like this cannot be denied forever. The angels are very close to you right now, dear soul. They are wrapping their light gently around your trembling heart because they know the storm that has been rising inside you. They know the way your chest feels heavy without reason, the ache that visits suddenly, and the dreams that feel so real that they cannot be just imagination. Deep inside, you felt it. You sensed that something happened in the early hours of dawn. Your spirit knew that your soulmate was somewhere they should not have been, caught in a moment that has left your heart in pieces. Even though you were not there in person, your soul stood as a silent witness, feeling every wave of energy that unfolded. The pain you feel is not foolish. It is the echo of a truth that touched your soulmate, and through the bond you share, landed in the center of your heart. Yes, dear one, a secret meeting did take place in those early hours. It was not only a conversation. It was something heavier, a moment filled with emotions that could no longer be hidden. The air of that hour carried unfinished stories, unresolved wounds, and confusion. Your soulmate may have met someone from their past, someone they are still entangled with in complicated ways. At first, the words may have been careful, maybe even calm, but soon the energy grew stormy. Confessions came forward. Old wounds were brought up. There were tears, maybe accusations, and truths spoken with pain rather than clarity. In that fragile light of morning, your soulmate admitted something that changed everything. They are not whole. They are divided between what they think they should do and what their heart truly feels. And in that moment, your name surfaced. Your love surfaced. Even in the presence of someone else, your presence was there, undeniable. The other person may have noticed it too, that your soulmate still carries you in their eyes and heart. What happened that morning was not a betrayal in the physical sense for many, but an emotional rupture. It reopened wounds that were never healed. It revealed that your person carries regrets, unspoken apologies, and too many moments of silence. They did not go to that meeting with the purpose of hurting you, but intentions do not always shield us from consequences. And now they are left facing the truth they cannot deny. They are not over you. They never were. That meeting did not bring them peace. It brought them guilt. It brought the awareness that while they tried to please others, they ended up hurting more than one heart, including their own. This was the moment that shifted everything, because in trying to hold on to control, to appear strong, and to protect their image, they realized how empty it all is without you. They saw that in trying to be everything to others, they have been nothing to themselves. You may be asking, why didn't they just come to me? Why didn't they share their truth with me? The angels hear that cry and they weep with you. The reason is painful but simple. They did not feel worthy. They feared that if they came to you with all their mistakes and flaws, they would lose the love they treasure most. So they avoided it. But running from your love has only deepened the heartbreak. That dawn meeting was not about choosing someone else. It was about being confronted with how lost they are without you. You remain the ghost in their every conversation, the ache behind every smile, the silence after every word. Now they are shattered inside. The world may not see it. They may not admit it out loud, but within themselves, they are broken. And only love, real, unconditional love, can mend that kind of break. The angels want you to hold this truth close. Your love did not fail. It was not lacking. What happened was never your fault. This was about your soulmate learning how to face themselves, learning what it means to open up instead of hiding. That meeting was the start of their awakening. They can no longer pretend that everything is fine. The wound is now open, and only when a wound is open can healing begin. Dear soul, you may feel betrayed. You may feel that trust has been cracked, but the angels remind you that you are not alone. They are whispering into your spirit right now, reminding you that pain does not take away your worth. You are still the one. You are the one who loved without control, who gave freely, who awakened something sacred in another heart. And though it hurts, the truth has now stepped into the light. Yes, your soulmate did meet someone in secret. Yes, it caused a shift. But what lingered afterward was not another person. It was you. Your memory, your love, your presence haunted them more strongly than before. What unfolded was not the creation of a new love, but the collapse of illusions. It was your soulmate realizing that they cannot escape what they feel for you, no matter how hard they try. That morning was not filled with passion. It was filled with fear and with attempts to stay in control. They met out of duty, out of old ties, or out of pressure. They tried to act strong. They tried to appear unaffected. They may even have said things to suggest they had moved on. But inside, every word they spoke was followed by the echo of your name. Their hands may not have trembled outwardly, but their spirit did. Because control is not peace. Structure is not love. And they are finally learning that. The one they met may provide stability, or may represent obligations, but the heart does not lie. Every sentence your soulmate spoke without your truth behind it left them more empty. Every time they said the right thing, your smile rose in their mind. Every attempt to act unaffected was drowned by the quiet tide of longing. You are still their heartbeat, and no matter how they try to silence it, the truth keeps returning. The angels want you to understand this clearly. This was not about someone else being more loved than you. This was about fear. This was about your soulmate clinging to control, afraid to surrender to the depth of your love. They are scared of losing what feels safe, even if it is hollow. They are afraid of changing their life, afraid of letting go of the familiar. But what they don't see is that in holding so tightly to what doesn't feed them, they are losing what is irreplaceable. You, your soul, is sensitive. That is why you felt the drop in their energy, the strange emptiness, the sudden ache. You may not know the details of what was said, but you felt the moment they chose fear instead of freedom. But do not lose hope, dear one, because that very choice is unraveling them from within. What they thought would give them clarity only exposed how broken their foundation is. And now they think of you not just as a memory, but as the truth they cannot escape. The angels want you to keep shining. Do not dim your light because of their silence. Do not question your worth because of their fear. Stand in your truth. Protect your heart. Love is not about possession. It is about honesty. And though your soulmate may not yet be ready to surrender, the universe is leading them toward it. They cannot hide forever. The morning that broke everything open has already begun their awakening. Remember this, dear soul, you did not lose. You are not forgotten. You are not replaceable. You are the love that still beats inside them, the truth they could not speak that morning, the one they are terrified to lose. And while they sit in silence, the angels are preparing the way for healing. The angels close this message with tenderness. Yes, something happened at dawn. Yes, it shifted the path of your connection, but not because another love was chosen. It shifted because your soulmate realized they are still yours, even when they try to pretend otherwise. And that realization, though painful, is the first step toward truth.